When you step into that ring, you're alone in there with somebody who's trying to kill you. Your coach and your corner might be there watching you, but ultimately it's you alone that's going to have to confront the fact that you could very well be maimed. Of course, you always have faith that it'll be you hurting the other guy. But on the flip side, you also come to terms with the fact that your body has limits. It can only do so much and only take so much. You watch enough fights, you learn to see that tender moment when a fighter realizes that they'll actually be defeated. Any coach can tell you that. That moment between the realization and when the fight is actually stopped, that's the most painful.
Hi, my name is Rick. I've been training fighters since 1994. I've had 3 women world champions, junior middleweight, super middleweight, and a lightweight. We fought all over the world: Germany, Sweden, Trinidad, Bermuda. I've had amateurs fight all over the United States, and I still run an amateur program now. The worst part of being a trainer is watching my fighter get hurt in the ring. I become kind of attached to a fighter, and when the fighter gets hurt, that's hard for a trainer to take. And it's that time for me to stop the fight. That's what I think.
I just knocked the other guy out cold, and it's a pretty cool feeling. Just sitting, you're trying not to be too happy out of respect for, the guy who's down. But yeah, that's like the culmination of all the hard work all in one punch.
And what did you do to him when he was on the ground?
Slapped him up a little bit. Someone was a rookie.
Girl with over 40 fights when I only had 8 fights was surreal to me and just eye-opening.
There was this one time I fought a West Point cadet. She looked big and scary, and she had more fights than me, but when it came time to the fight, I started wailing on her. She just kept rushing, and I just counterpunched her. She starts bleeding, and she hasn't even landed a punch on me yet. And then the second round comes. I'm looking at the ref like, come on, man, really? You gonna stop this? And finally I hit her with one that dazes her. And the ref finally calls the 8 count, but she wasn't putting her hands up. She was saying, I can't see anything. And the doctors start rushing the ring, and I'm just there in the white corner. I remember looking at my hands like, I really just did that with these hands.
My role here at the gym is trainer. Well, my father owns a gym, so boxing's been in my life since before I could even remember. Like, the older you get, I feel like the more being a boxing coach keeps you young, as opposed to like going through the monotony of life.
I'm one mad dog. I did 4 years active duty in the Marine Corps, 2 years overseas, no OIF, no OEF, 3521 motor transport mechanic. I've got 8 fights, amateur. Since I've been training, I've only been in 2 physical altercations outside of the boxing gym. And before boxing, it was at least 5 a year, probably since I was 15 years old. So boxing has taught me the discipline and respect for other people, and it gives me an outlet for my rage and my excessive hatred for myself.
As a young teenager, my dream in life was to catch a body legally, to be able to assault somebody legally. I had been whooped by my parents and the police all my life for being a bad kid, so I'm thinking, why can't I whoop on bad people? Why don't we whip on these billionaires and crooked cops and thieves? So I started cracking people in parking lots whenever they made me mad. And one day I got in really big trouble for it. When I got out, the urge to fight was still there. So that's why I started boxing. People often go into boxing with some pretty antisocial, even borderline psychotic reasons. Most of the fighters I know are very wounded people who feel a deep, powerful urge to wound others, even if it's at a risk to themselves. In the beginning, at least. What happens is that there's so much humbling and discipline that's required to continue to fight. There's so much more than that rage to focus on. So their rage becomes a vague thing, and sometimes entirely forgotten. Good and experienced fighters become gentle and kind people. Fighting has made me more gentle and patient because I'm better able to understand my own vulnerability. So in turn, I can see and understand the vulnerability of others.